Welcome to PVT Express News channel. Subscribe to the channel and don't miss the hottest news of the day. Our today's newsletter includes the following content.
After the analysis of Xiao Zhan in January, many people contribute Wang Yibo,
and the two of them CP.
But because I have seen the star plate of two people, I'm quite sure that the two of them are really straight men. I can't see it. There is a tendency to have that aspect. So I won't do their CP analysis. Want to change the way? This issue will first talk about Wang Yibo's analysis. Then we compare two people at the end. Look at the two major currents today. Which one will be the one that is steady to the pinnacle? Wang Yibo has clearly said that he is a rising shooter. Then I am based on this ascending point, combined with some Wang Yibo's online record. There is a new disc now. What about Wang Yibo? Very interesting point. It is a lot of videos that have been talked about these 2 years. I really like to give him an empty head. Capital dolls. But in fact, the character reflected in this astrolabe. Just the opposite. Wang Yibo is a very strong type of opinion.
First of all, Pluto rises up in one house and upward. Such people generally have strong opinions. It can even be said to be a kind of strong big man. Coupled with the sun falling the temple. At the same time, hedging heaven star and Jupiter. Very self-confidence. Compare me. Fortunately, the sun is also 3 in Saturn. The sun here is slightly balanced by Saturn. Otherwise, it will be easy to float. So why often say, everything is too late? Don't always think that Saturn is a fierce star. In fact, a little bit of checks and balance of Saturn in the astrolabe. It will make people cautious. It is also good for public figures. Look at it like this. Wang Yibo belongs to the relatively strong personality. Get an idea and a more cautious personality. This configuration. It's unlikely that the stupid line of capital is very much. It may be because I have my own ideas too much. Will be beaten by the capital behind. Just like the role of the news queen Yangzi. The company may occasionally give you a horse. Worried that you are not easy to control. And Jupiter's people in the third house. There are also some small cleverness and understanding. Wang Yibo, although Jupiter has retrograde in the third palace. But this retrograde, at most, it affects the on-site reaction. Jixing will not become fierce stars. Coupled with Mercury falling Virgin Temple. Mercury is also related to people's mind and mind. It stands to reason that he should be a more organized person. Even if the education is not enough. It should. It's not so empty as others say. I have watched the video of Unnamed Roadshow. Haven't seen the full version. Just watch some sporadic fragments that others intercept. I saw someone asking Wang Yibo. Ask him if he can cross the pass to meet Mr. Yi. What would he say to Mr. Yi? Then Wang Yibo answered, I think this problem is meaningless. So there are a lot of these vomiting videos. Just think. Wang Yibo. Maybe it's because the head is really fine. Insufficient understanding, so I refuse to answer this question. But if you start from this new market, I think it may not be like this. What about this Wang Yibo? It should be to think from the bottom of the heart. This problem is meaningless. Because he is a Saturn as a martial arts. In addition to martial arts can be understood as lovers. It is also related to entertainment, art and imagination. So Saturn martial arts. Relatively speaking, it is not very romantic. This is not just reflected in emotional. It will also be reflected in the imagination part. It's not so empty. So, Wang Yibo's chance is not what they say. Can't understand. Question, in his opinion. Maybe I really think this problem a bit pretentious. Coupled with him, he is the man who is hedged in the sun. So I don't want to deal with such problems directly. Just say your true thoughts. Later, it may be played by someone who is interested. Wang Yibo Wogong. Saturn's Mars in the 11 Palace. So the characteristics of his Saturn martial arts. It will bring mass controversy. But its Saturn and Mars are not simply hedging. It is mutually integrated plus each other. So it is actually a good and fierce situation. Infada Limited. January 2023 to November 2024. What happened is Mercury Martian period. So last year, the so-called desperate illiteracy appears. But if you say grades. In fact, he last year's 3 movies. The results are good. I can get a hand. Since it is not romantic before it is mentioned earlier. Then I will analyze Wang Yibo's feelings next. For these male artists I have seen currently, Wang Yibo is a representative of a relatively big man. But he has a characteristic. Although he is masculine. But the vision is also very high. He is not the kind of one who will find one just look beautiful. Types that can give yourself emotional value. He still values the ability of girls. Social status. You see Wang Yibo's princess's heart of the employee. I ran to Jigongi and Xiangxi Tianding. Sky is Virgo. So Mercury is not only the princess star of his marriage palace. At the same time as the princess star of the career palace. And Venus moon coincides with this Mercury. So Wang Yibo find an object and never say that you just look at your face. The object that can eventually come with him. Otherwise, the family is very good. Otherwise, the ability is particularly strong. The character that is very status. But Wang Yibo Egon's Pluto star punishment. Get the moon. Explain that the relationship and marriage are also unstable. This is well understood. Because you think about it. With her character. In the early days of love, they should be in the superior. Just don't care how powerful this object is outside. Between these two people. Wang Yibo. The initial period must be the upper person in the emotion. That girl. You know. At the beginning. Love is for example. Wang Yibo is not romantic. Don't speak sweet words. This girl will say. His mouth is wrong, so handsome. For example, Wang Yibo's masculine burst out. Ask your schedule. Don't wear a beautiful small skirt. Then this girl will say. He looks so handsome. For example. You want to check the post in turn. But Wang Yibo refused. That is, he can control you. You can't care about him. Very double marked this girl will feel again. It's so handsome. So what about later? This girl may suddenly go online suddenly remembering hey. I was out. It is also a number 1 name with a surname. Yes, why do I compromise more? Not to do it. So this time. Is it easy to be contradictory between two people? Generally speaking. If the boy's economic conditions for girls. If you have more capabilities. So this boy still has to coax more. Will give emotional value. This relationship can be more stable. It's not that Wang Yibo is not good. But he belongs to the kind of less romantic solid type. Is the novel domineering male lead hanging inward? No sweet words. Some are actual payments. What about him? If the material conditions are poor. Then I need to take care of the silly white sweetness. That may be good. But. For Wang Yibo. The kind of girl who really likes. This is a bit mismatched. Will you go to the moon of the moon at 31 to 40? So this type like Wang Yibo. Many masters may suggest that he is married late. In fact, just want to avoid the risk of divorce. Is a very contradictory point? It is the Mercury Universiade, who is Wang Yibo, who walks at the age of 18 to 31. It's particularly good. And just said it. Mercury is also the princess star of his marriage palace. So in fact, the object he found before the age of 31. It is particularly good in objective conditions. So if she really married late after 40 years old, it may not be possible to find such a good one. So this is the view of each master. It may be different. If the best results are concerned. In fact, she settled early. Then the consciousness is to change your temperament. Don't be so strong. Make it well with the other half. This is the best. Except for feelings. You also need to pay attention to financial management. Because Neptune's star is in the Erdong Fortune Palace. Although it is easy to make arts and make money. But at the same time, in terms of financial management, not particularly savvy. Neptune 2 Palace is very common in the configuration of artists. So why do many artists lose money for business? Or will be pitted by the company? That's the reason. Because the people of Neptune 2 Palace. I really don't understand this too much. Good end. It is to predict Wang Yibo's future career development. At the same time, it is also compared with Zhan. In fact, these two people put together. It really has its own representativeness. Zhan, we said last time that it started to work in the middle. Then the fortune has gone until his old age. Wang Yibo is different. What about Wang Yibo? He is a very standard idle life grid. What is the standard love Dao? Just two key points. The first is that the physical fitness is particularly good. Wang Yibo's Mars Sanha Jupiter. Firewood phase is a common configuration of athletes. So there are people with a positive aspect. Generally, it is relatively physical. People with good movement cells. So whether it is idol or actor, right? For artists. Strong physical fitness, first one half of it. What is the second point? Early luck. This idol is different from actors. Actor, can you still be a big dealer late? Only in the 40s, it is okay to get up. But it is impossible for love beans. The career of Adu must be to go early. Otherwise, it is equivalent to the life of not being a love beans. Wang Yibo is a day born. So from the age of 10 to 18, I walked to Venus. Wang Yibo jinxing is in the temple of Shi Palace. It also coincides with the Princess Xing Mercury in the career palace. In fact, her career has already started at this stage. You might say, hey. She was a child at that time. Where is the career? In fact, it is not to say that after the official came out of work. Only to take career. If a person is lucky early in his career, this shows that he hasn't taken any detours. I set the goal of the career early. And I walked early on this track. For example, if a person, his life is going to take an academic route. He was washed at the age of 10 to 18. Then he is strong in reading a small study. So I can take the academic route later. Tifl Wang Yibo is artistic. I will know what I want to do early. Prepare these talents early. Later, the Mercury Universiade, 18 to 31. This is the peak of his career. 31 to 40 years behind. Moon this period. Relatively speaking, not as strong as Mercury period. But the moon still coincides with Mercury. And was accepted by Mercury. You can understand it as possible starlight. At this stage, there is no big breakthrough. Still eating the bonus before the age of 31. This feeling. I hope you don't hear me say so. I think it is a very negative meaning. Because I analyzed some artists before. I have said it too. After 31 years old, that fortune is directly cliff-like slipping. This sliding is accompanied by a relatively large problem. But Wang Yibo is not too much of this.
It is more like the normal entertainment industry. One of the new and old alternation. So why do you say it is an idol life? Basically, you see the popular idol of Japan and South Korea. Most of the peak stages. Still concentrated in the age of 31. There are no big problems after 31 years old. I can still active in the current active. But basically, it's hard to be higher than the 31st before the age of 31. Starlight will slowly fade down. This follows the last analysis Xiao. It's a different pattern. In 2019, they have played the fire of Chunchang. Because Wang Yibo and Xiao are both day-born people. In 2019, both of them were walking at the 18 to 31-year-old Mercury Universiade. But Wang Yibo's Mercury is stronger than Xiao. It can be said that Wang Yibo can be read when this Grand Canal can be read. It is reasonable. But Xiao's Mercury Shinka's palace of the One Palace is the Neptune. His Mercury is in this fate. Nothing is a very strong role at all. In fact, for Xiao, during the Mercury period is his life. It's relatively not so good. Last time I said that the Moon Universiade he was walking at 31 to 40. Saturn, 40 to 51 years old. And the Jupiter Grand Canal, 51 to 63, is all good luck. Xiao is in the relatively weak Mercury Universiade. Can be popular. It shows that he has 3 universities after 31 years old. It's far more than just like this. Last time, I said that Xiao 40 to 51 years old. Can there be some transformation? Can get more recognition? Many people just ask in the comment area or barrage. Hey, is Xiao going to change the director? I found that many male artists fans. They all yearn for my idol transfer to director. Because some of the previous analysis. People often ask me this question. Maybe there will be time later. We can get a new set of directors of the director. Let me tell you. Who are really turning the director. More recognized than actors. But when I talk about Xiao, I personally don't think he is necessary to turn the director. Because as long as he thinks, Xiao can be a long-read artist. Always play until more than 50 years old. I think it's okay. Unless he wants to retreat. Otherwise, it is difficult to get rid of. Because I said it before. He is emotionally biasly low-key. And the marriage is very good. Unless he is an example. This is due to protecting the other half. He wants to fade out of the current. Otherwise, he can be able to do Changhong all the way. So I prefer his transformation. Maybe a de-flowing. Then as a powerful actor. Get some mainstream awards. Get more recognition. Or it turns into capital. I think these possibilities are greater. In summary, 2 top currents today. I'm more optimistic about Xiao future development. In fact, after the analysis of Xiao last time, I can't bear it too. I have always mentioned Xiao with the people around. Because I am doing his new analysis. I didn't know much about him before. But after the analysis, it can really be said to be a bit experienced. Because he does not matter whether he is a life pattern or a personality. I think it's pretty good. In his astrology, it can be seen that it is a very humble person. I think Xiao may be in my heart. I really don't think I am too much to afford. Previous analysis. When I talk about Xiao among the stars, not particularly self-confident, this is. Some people refute me. Say disagree. Then tell me. Xiao has always been very confident. I think everyone may misunderstand what I mean. Because in my opinion, artists, especially male artists, 10 of 9 are very confident. Even overconfidence. Most male artists are not self-confidence. Self-introspection.
Xiao Zhan's self-discipline that can be seen in the new disc. Humor. I think it is the most valuable one. I'm curious. I also look forward to. Is Xiao Zhan going to where to go? Because I really think it's true. Maybe many people think. Xiao Zhan is already hot now. Very red, but actually. This moment is now. It's not the peak of his career. He can have more breakthroughs. He can still be better. Okay, today's video is here. What do you think about this? This concludes our news section. Welcome to leave your thoughts in the comments area. Let's discuss it together. Welcome. Don't forget to give me a like and follow. Thank for all.